2 ratings. Yeah. So this morning I fixed your bug, Benedek.
What do you mean? Which one?
Oh,
The taxonomy related? Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you.
I did more than that. I removed stuff that we don't use, and just because I've also added comments
Oh, comments.
on
Oh
the
my
API,
God.
level, explaining what it does and blah blah blah. And like for instance, it will also remove all its terms and delete the content type, stuff that you might not know when you read this delete taxonomy. So it's interesting. And I removed the stuff that is no more used, because when we did some refactoring of the service, we're not using that, and I don't expect anyone to use that. Get all terms across taxonomy, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, so I removed that. It's 1.x.
Wait. You removed the method for getting all terms for a taxonomy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a bad idea. I was using that.
You were using all the terms, whatever taxonomy it is?
Yes, because it was a projection-based feature for filtering on content items, and there was a specific taxonomy which was basically used for categorizing items, and I was
That's
using
fine.
them.
You can add an extension method for that.
Well, yeah.
Who are you talking to, Bertrand? Lazy. Okay. So going back here, there are just to look at the new pull request first. There are maybe a dozen of them. So issues, source code. One day we'll be on GitHub and we will be able to filter the pull requests. So this one is new. 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 And that's it. Fix for work item. This one. Woohoo. Throws away some of your placement. I've seen this. So this call doesn't work. What's the difference? Type definition. Store get type definition. This is messed up.
Doesn't help that he's changed the styling.
Yes, because we don't know what's actually modified. So this is placement method. this takes the same parameters.
It looks like he's got rid of the JavaScript serializer.
It's
But,
not just that.
well, yeah, I mean...
Well, if you look at the code here it's not
No,
used.
totally. I can read it.
It's not used.
The data extensions. Let's have a look at that file. Which one is it? Is it content types, frameworks, or core?
I have only one.
Well, we got 3.
So
Content type, thanks.
this one, serializer, it's used.
It is used.
Implementing an in-placement for content type editor. So this is me.
So someone's done it on line 94, where they've done something very similar. If you go down to line 94, you'll see he's said, is this content types? Oh, sorry, 64, my bad. If you go to line 64, so see how someone's done this? They've done exactly what he's suggesting to do. I think what he wants is the same thing done in other places.
Oh, you mean this line?
Yeah.
Isn't the same as that?
Exactly.
Builder, let's do settings. Builder, let's
Great, this code, so... Do you remember why? Because that method, that placement method, is slightly different to the one above it as well. Like one calls builder.build and the other one doesn't.
It's awesome. I love when I wrote some code, I don't even know what it does.
So if you compare that method there with the one above it, see how it's got get placement, builder.build?
Yeah.
And then the other one, it doesn't do that.
So add placement, placement, the string, that's not even English. Who wrote that? Defines the custom placement. Defines the custom placement on content type definition builder. Placement type, string position, get placement build. So it's up to update X is safe. But I can't understand what it changed here. So this one, for sure, is now just 2 methods, 2 codes. Definition, builder, placement. So this one must be using placement from here now. Placement. Add placement, new. Placement, add placement is new. Okay, he's externalizing the logic and calling it, okay, so it makes sense. So that's what you say. He's using this logic, but he externalized it as add placement, and then it calls it from here and there.
Yep.
And we still have the JavaScript serializer in the add placement. Okay, looks good. 18x, yep. Oh no. Okay, this is a unit test for item blah 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 is implemented according to the pseudocode and shows the call to acquire context monitor is successful after child scope. Ooh.
What is 20? What is that issue?
So the bug being from last year, the private compact tokens method the code token in what compact in the cache manager, yeah.
Oh, he provided a failing. He provided a unit test to show.
This is really interesting because Bertrand, I mentioned it on Skype. This is exactly what I was talking about with Luis. So I knew there was something with inheritance in cache tokens. So the idea, just for your information, is that if you use a get here and you do some monitor, and at the same time you call another method, another service, for instance, which itself uses another context, another get, and another monitor, this here will be also dependent on all the sub-monitors that you will define in other methods. And that's very clever, and that it just works magically. Yeah, because it creates scopes internally. And yeah, but that's beautiful. So here, this always fails. Okay, so after a child, okay, that's what it says. After that, okay.
Quite cool that he produced a unit test for it. I like it.
Yep, that's good. We should hire him. So we provided a unit test, blah 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 test which fails, I assume. So I don't know what to do with this pull request. I won't mark it good to go. Good to test. Because we can include that. If we include it as is, it will fail the build. So include when we have fixed the.
Or when we open the bug to fix it, or
No, I will open it, but we can pull it unless we also have the fix. So we can pull, but push only if we have the fix with that. But I will open it because we have a unit test. That's cool. Active. It's there. Boom. It's already active actually. Okay. Remove caching extensions.
yeah. You've had a conversation about this already.
And
on the forum. This was adding them to the cache service.
oh, the one I missed.
There you go.
Okay. Caching extensions. Yeah. the goal with extension methods applied on services like this is that we add more value to the to any implementation that you can do of this service. So it's like adding some common logic for an interface. So you don't have to implement it in your custom implementation because it should not be different whatever the implementation you use. And here's the get t, which just does a get and casts it to a t. And this one, key and factory, so which is if you don't find it, put it, okay? And this one with a time span. So what's the issue then? See, I think I understand the issue. So what it means is that
it was for Redis cache, wasn't it, or something like that? He wanted
yeah. Cast. So the get needs to actually deserialize it in the correct type that you will look for. So if it was serialized as a string, it should come back as a string in your service without you knowing that. Okay. Yeah, it's not answering the command from Zoltan. Let me check.
Yeah, the big question is here is what is the Redis cache provider doing with the strongly timed get instead of classing?
Because we have that output, this one. So what is it doing? And the question is, what am I doing in the output cache? Because I'm storing some cache items, which are, let me see, cache configuration, we don't care, cache set, serialize object cache item, so I'm doing string set. So yeah, he can do the same thing. He could save an object and then string get, deserialize the object. In my case, actually, I know what I saved, but he could say kind of understand the issue actually, because so if I look at the cache provider, You can put an object. You can put an object.
Is he using the right cache service?
Yeah, we are talking about that. Yes, he's saying that. The idea is that when the interface asks you to save an object, and we say get, you should be able to get the same kind of object, the same
Oh, I see.
type. So the question is how to serialize this object in the cache instance so that you know how to get the same thing. Maybe the Redis client, when you pass, will serialize using some logic, and you need to get. No, that's not the case. Yeah.
But hang on, why shouldn't the calling code, the calling code should know the type, right?
No.
So if you store something, you know that when you get it, you know you stored it as a bool, or
you might not know.
when do you not know?
Let's say I give you a customer object. Okay, you will serialize it as JSON, and you put it into the cache. It's a string. Okay, you set it as a string. Now I say, give me the customer number 1. You do a get on the key, you get a string. Now you deserialize it. How do you deserialize it?
Well, using JSON. If you serialize, are you as a caller serializing it?
If you deserialize it, are you sure it will give you back a customer instance?
Well, it depends. Is the calling code serializing it into a string, or will this class take care of serializing to a JSON string?
Let's say you call JSON serialize on the customer.
Oh, I see.
If you call JSON deserialize on the same string, do you get back a customer instance?
Well, JSON itself has a generic type.
Yes,
overload.
That's what it says. Maybe Redis has the same thing. It has a generic type to deserialize, but if we don't tell you which type it is, you don't have a way to deserialize it as a customer because we don't say it is a customer.
Right.
And this is what it says.
Got
I don't know it's a customer, so how can I get a customer? I could just get a dynamic object which has properties in it, but it won't be a customer. So when you try to cast it as a customer, I didn't know because you just call get without the type.
Right.
That's what it says. So the guest is really just a cast. So it's like, okay, we know what you will get and don't try to be clever and so that's the issue here. And here with my Redis implementation, I know I'm passing cache items. So when I deserialize, I say deserialize a cache item. He wants when we do a generic get on this service, he says, well, but yeah, so. I don't know.
What was the issue number? Want to have a read through it. 20955. Okay, thanks. Oh, okay.
And
I think what he wants, he just wants to be able to call, because Redis has a strongly typed cache instance of T, he just wants to use that rather than having to call.
Yeah, Sébastien, when you are storing the value inside of a cache item, So at some point you return the CAS item. Are you returning the value of the CAS item or the CAS item itself?
The value. The
Well,
value.
yeah. So here you return a CAS item, but when do you return the object itself? So the interface has a signature where it returns an object. Is that object then a CAS item, or is it the original object that was stored
It's a cache
originally?
item. For my case, it's a cache item, so I know what I need to return. But this is the output cache implementation. Okay.
Okay.
This is different than the generic cache service, which doesn't tell you. You see, the generic cache service just say, give me the object for this key. But his issue is, when I put an object, it was a customer. So when I serialized it, it was a customer object. But when you say, give me the customer one, it will call deserialize. You won't get a customer. So if you try to do, in your code, cache.get customer key, it won't work because the get as a T here does a cast to the T. But because your get doesn't know that it's a customer, it won't be able to give you a customer. It will give you a dictionary.
Right, because you are storing it as JSON?
Yes.
Yeah, I get it. I've seen this problem.
Whatever you store it as, okay?
Yeah.
Or you will have to store it with the type information.
Well, JSON has a deserialization function where you can specify any type you want, and it will try to, using this dictionary, to update that, an instance of that type.
Okay. Are you sure?
I tried it, yeah, it works.
Okay, so then we could say, use a serialization mechanism that saves the type with it, and you will know what type it is back.
Well, if the calling code specifies a type, then you can pass along that type parameter to JSON.
It's not. That's what I say. That's easy.
Yeah, but you have the caching extensions there.
But the extensions call the get, and the get don't know that. That's exactly
okay. So you would have
problem. He says the get doesn't have any type information. So.
Yeah, and this is the core method. You can just go ahead and change that.
If an answer could be use a serialization mechanism which stores the type too.
Right. Yeah, and then you can use that type information and pass that along with the JSON serializer. I see.
Yeah, but at the same time, I will use one of Zoltan's issue. Let's say I put a string as a value. Okay, let's say your implementation will always JSON serialize the value I give you. And I ask you to serialize a string. What will happen if you do JSON, if you do that? If you do JSON convert serialize object and you pass a string here. Okay, what you will have is that. Inside the string, you will have the string. This is a serialization version of that. Okay?
Okay.
You will have the string this way. And now this thing goes here, deserialize object, let's say deserialize that, and you say this, deserialize that. What will you get? It will fail. You won't get a string back. You will get an exception saying this is not a valid JSON object.
Of course. Yeah, that's tricky.
So.
Yep. So and then you would have to add all sorts of, like a big switch of primitives. You would
I think that's the issue.
Yeah,
let me see if Redis gives you, because I don't know if it has the generic version. It hasn't have the. There is a string get. Okay. I don't see any typed version of that.
He says there is one. There is the Redis client provides a strongly typed get of T.
He says that, and he also mentioned he's using the Stack Exchange one. I am using the Stack Exchange one. Oh no, maybe using the old one, the sleeve one. I'm using the new one. No, this is a service tag. This one I'm not using. I'm using this one. But Mark Gravel, who made it, made another one, the book sleeve, and maybe book sleeve has that. But we don't care. This one, which is the one that you should use because it's a new one by the same author, doesn't have that. C string get set up sub. We'll do that. Yep. So I kind of not disagree with him, but at the same time I could disagree. Okay, I will ask some guys from the cache team here what they think about it. So I let it this way. Okay, this one now. Remove persist security info equals true. So when you go to the setup screen, I think this is what it means. Yes, when you go to the setup screen, we say, oh, this is an example of a SQL Server connection string, and there is persist security info equals true. I'm not sure. I think it's that. You will confirm or not. I think that when you place that information, your connection object can give you back the connection string. And if you don't put that, if you try to access the connection string from your connection object, you can't. It doesn't give you a value. I'm not sure. I think it's that.
Yeah, so having it set to false is actually more secure.
See that you can't. Okay, so yeah, and because we don't need that, and you can still, yeah, we could. Yeah, okay. Higher security feature here. easy pick. It was already triaged. Okay, okay. And this one, iSession configuration. I'm lost. What is that? No bug changes based on animated to use parameters in iSession configuration events. So consistent mapping of class names to table names. iSession configuration with parameters. Set parameter. Oh, iSession configuration events, iSession configuration events with parameter iSession configuration events. Who did that? I think it's Piotr.
Yeah, Piotr did it. 506 days ago.
What's the point?
You scroll down. There's still more. I think you've missed some of it.
Set parameters, set the parameters, and
Keep going down, dude. I think there's more.
no, I just want to see here in this case.
I think he just wants to add extra stuff to the class before you actually build up the created, before you actually call created. He wants to add extra information.
Get it? We have events like created, here building, here prepared. So before, during, after, or is it called? Before. So sorry, but look at the file. It's called here, just before created. It's a new event which is called just before created. That is session factory parameters. Session factory parameters. Okay, so you want more information. He wants that, the parameters. And he calls it set parameters.
Is there a more elegant way of doing it rather
Yes.
than having a thing called set parameters?
Yes. iSession configuration events could have a property parameters that we define always.
Yeah. I mean, is that
iSession configuration that we define always, and or we could change the parameters when we call here, that we call here, for instance, just for created, if it just makes sense in created, to pass the parameters. So you have access to the record descriptors and all of the events, but I don't think it's good. I prefer to pass that as, yeah, we could put it in the interface actually. And who is implementing that?
there's only one implementation I think of that called persistence configuration. Control Alt.
If I had ReSharper,
Why are you not using ReSharper?
because I'm no more using that. Yeah, okay. So yeah, okay, let's do some more refactoring. This one is not a breaking change, but it's ugly. that will be it. Yeah, I used to use it, but now actually it's too big for ReSharper.
So, okay. It seems to work fine on my machine.
Yeah, but I do actual development. I don't play with HTML. Okay, so now I want to do some issues. Where were we? This one postponed until I decide not to postpone it. This one. It's not clear how code correction evolutions are applied between 17x and 1x. Is Christian here? He's here. We have two of them. Corrections applied in 1x could be applied in 17x but are not concerning. Oh yeah, I answered to that. Okay. Oh, it was at the time we just had 17x and not 1. I think I know which.
Oh,
is.
This is probably due to me, because when I was, I think it's
yes, we fixed it. We fixed it. Oh, Sipka, did you remove your .name in content type definition builder?
Did I? No, not yet. Not yet. Still on my list. Do you need it to be gone? Is it causing an issue?
No, I just want to
clean it up.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Issue. Oh, this is slow. So I will close this one because you understood the question. It's actually not not an issue. It's just a discussion, and we fixed your issue. But I will create a new one to remember. Remove name content type. One.x active hide because we need to fix it. One.x I don't want to duplicate that people will rely on later. Issues March 10. I'm implementing my biggest force. Wow, 4 websites with Orchard. Usually people start with 1 and then they stop. And I need to load that data on a specific Orchard page project. New page permalink, for example. The event page loads. Okay, I need to read it again. Adding URL routing parameter to a new page / permalink. Okay, this is an event page. Okay, now I want to know your idea for a unique event.
So instead of using a query string, he wants to use the route values. I think.
So you need to create your own whole route.
That's also, that query string's not valid either. It's missing a key.
It's fine. I'm just explaining
Okay.
the technique. So you need to create your own catch all route, like control. No, better. No, it won't work.
He has to create his own routing, doesn't he?
New route, and also check that the prefix of the route is a valid slug for something.
Yeah.
And this is a GUID, so this is not easy.
So he needs a GUID constraint.
Also.
Yeah.
Oh, that should be done first, yeah. If you have a GUID at the end, then you check the pass.
Yeah. You just check it's an event and then add a GUID constraint on. And that will redirect it to the correct controller.
But in MVC, you can't add constraint for the end after a slash. This is not possible. This is an issue, but yeah. So you have to analyze every route by yourself to see if it has that. Order user list by date register in admin. Yeah, why not?
I think that whole user screen kind of needs. I don't know if anyone's come across this, but where you type in the username and you hit enter, and it just clears the filter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, because the bulk actions are submitted, not that part of the form.
It's infuriating, but
yeah. It's annoying.
So annoying. I just don't understand why none of us have bothered to go and fix it yet. It's so infuriating.
He's good at JavaScript, I know that. And he has nothing to do. Okay, I think we'll end on this one. Let's look at the next one just for the pleasure. Oh, I can't. Okay, good. What did I miss in the chat? Yeah, but you know, sometimes I tell people, don't use Orchard. You don't need Orchard for that. For instance, the Orchard Harvest website, usually we don't need Orchard. We should just have a static page because we are developers.
Yep.
Yeah, but if you have an Orchard, everything looks like an Orchard application.
Also,
That's right.
it was funny because last week I was, I worked on the message bus, so I was looking for Service Bus, and Service Bus is a website now is owned by particular.net,
And it's Orchard.
just okay. Fuck that, it's Orchard. I was like, yeah, because I was on their blog. I don't know where it is, and I found it. So everything is Orchard. That's awesome.
Hey, did you see the UE library that you were thinking about creating an editor in? Did you see that UE is now no longer they stopped development on it?
Yeah, I saw that they stopped the development of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you're thinking, well, luckily we didn't spend any time building an editor on it.
Yep. Okay. That's it. Thanks everyone. Unless someone has something to mention quickly. No, I am awesome. No, nothing.
No, but you need
You
to
mean me?
unremove the service, the methods
What?
from the taxonomy service.
You don't want me to remove these methods?
Yeah, I want them back. Please don't make a breaking change for me.
Why do you should not do that? This is for your security.
No, it was security. What do you mean? It was
It's even
totally
worse.
valid.
It doesn't even do paging. You should not do that.
Yeah, but I didn't create 200,000 terms.
Yeah, but you don't know people. And when you have a site, you will complain, you can't even page on this method, that's bullshit, whatever. Yeah, that's pure content item management. You should not do that. One.txt is breaking everything. You can cope with that, I'm sure. Make an extension method if you want. Why are you doing that? Crazy. Loading all the terms from the bit. Open an issue.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Okay, bye-bye.
Good night. Have a good night, sorry. Have a good night.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Bye, everyone.